conclusion, we have ourselves a championship race to call. Hopefully you're ready for it. Who will hoist the Season 8 championship for the WSSR Roasted Gems Cup Series? We'll find out here shortly as the drivers are gritting up.
Championship race, final one of the season.
Here this evening with your pulse on, it's going to be the three machines.
Yes, sir.
Kelly, want some redemption after a little bit of mistakes being made last week at Charlotte. He'll be starting up front with Bryson Hicksema to his outside of the front row. Douglas Newbiggie, who got the pole gear last season, will start a row back in third. That's going to then see Benjamin Nelson in the 79, last season's champion, trying to go back-to-back, starting in fourth. Brad McCann, the driver, starting out with the most points. Coming into tonight's race, it's the in fifth place. Fletcher Yingling going to be starting in sixth position. Ken Campbell comes in as the second-place driver, down just 4 points. Going to be in seventh. Eighth behind Cedric Hunter. Brian P. Johnson will be starting in ninth place, and finishing out our top 10, it's the 11 of John Forbes.
Well, not P11 going to be Zachary Hall. Look for him to try and make his moves up there to get that championship win. Going off next is going to be Brian Noel in 12th, Nick Crawford in 13th, and Cameron Sarton in 14th. Going off in P15, Christopher Wade and Danny Cochran in P16. 17th going to be Molly Fonseca and Christopher Norris in 18th. 19th, Cody Reed and Shane Durian. 20th going to be the deepest of our final six, starting 20th. James Heater going to roll off 21st position. That'll round out the final race of the season.
Looking back at Shane Terry's lap time for qualifying, only able to get one lap time in. The second lap was the fastest lap, so the 9 machine just didn't time it right, had a slight mistake. Will, starting in the back, though, be the ultimate factor that could throw away a championship hope for the 9. He's got a lot of work to get done. Shane wants to be up front with the other top contenders, but for tonight's race, 166 left.
All right, Brian, let's get ready to set this free. Good luck. Steady wheel. Let's go.
For the field, just 5 sets of tires, 8 pit road, 3 pit stops are expected for tonight, but will cautions change the matter of when you need to come into pit road? We'll find out. Pace car pulls into pit road.
Hey, Derek, thank you.
It is time to crown a champion, the Season 8 WSSR Roasted Gems.
Watch first tire or first lap on cold tires. You got one up high. You are free up high.
Number 1, it's the 3 of Kelly, Douglas Newbiggie, and the rest of the field already searching for all 3 lanes.
Oh, look at that fan out top to the bottom. But I noticed already in the back, Shane Theory, he wasted no time, Sam, on that restart. I saw him 3 wide right at the tail end of the line. He already passed 3 or 4 cars, I swear, going through the first 2 corners. He's trying to get to the front quick. Speaking of front, Ryan Kelly is going to come around and get to that first lap leg, get that point. And there we go, lap 1 completed.
Only just 3 ways to get bonus points, and they're only 1 point apiece. Lead a lap, you get 1 bonus point. Lead the most laps, you get 1 bonus point. You win the race, you get a bonus point. And these racers know every point so crucial. And Kelly leading that 1 lap, now going to be time himself with Shane Terrian, with it being just 5 points back from the likes of Brian McCann, who runs in 5th currently. But how well do you want to be running with each other in a race control? Steve Benjamin, thank you for being a race control for this season. Warned all drivers coming into tonight's race, hey, we've got 6 drivers racing for a championship. Let's give them the respect that they've earned throughout the season and let them race it out. And right now, we're seeing our top 2 going to be Ryan Kelly, Douglas Newbiggie. We're going to pull away from the rest of the field.
Someone to definitely keep an eye on is that Douglas Newbiggie. We think back to Las Vegas.
Definitely a better run off the high side.
Right to the front. Similar track to Las Vegas a little bit. Might be someone to really watch out for. You got the qualifying effort tonight. We'll see how he's able to hang on to these top 5 positions that he's in right now.
And we also got to fall back and battle for 10th place, because you talked about a driver making his moves forward. There's the 9 machine. Shane Terry just went 3.
There you go. Clean air. 1 line low.
Makes it.
There you go.
It's by Brian Noel, by Brian P. Johnson, and now setting up for Ken Campbell. Terrian from 20th to place, like you said, in a blink of an eye for the start with 5 positions. Well, give him another 6. Now up to 9th place is the 9.
That's absolutely amazing. 5 laps into this race, passing half the cars already. Will he be able to take this momentum?
Inside.
Is he the car to beat, or is he just going through so hard right now that maybe he's pushing through this stuff? But regardless, he's getting that track position back from the back qualifying effort. Being able to get to the front.
63, I believe that it's going to be down low. Step 63.
But wow.
At door.
Sam.
Yeah, he has the speed, but is it worth all of this hard racing to beat up your tires? I know track position is going to be key as the tire wear starts to fade away. And
oh, you're going to have to draft and a little bit of momentum.
Deeply, though that race had a total of 7 cautions last season, and it felt like every 20 to 30 laps, someone broke loose and got into trouble. They were solid for the first 15 laps, so then we started to see the rear ends kick out. The wall kept on reaching.
Now you're clear.
It's going to be a factor to watch out for. I think the 9's going to be the first one that we keep a big circle around of what reaction will the tires be in the next 10 laps, but we've got to be careful with how high cautions we usually see here in Kansas. It's been a range of 7 to 8 cautions the last 3 times we've been here. Who knows? We might need that window once again.
Who knows? It's sure. As the way they're racing, it could be a lot of cautions. How close they are, still side by side. 7 laps into this, they're not really getting strung out yet. Maybe expect to see it later around lap 20, 30. Like you mentioned, if these cars start to get a little more loose, maybe they'll start to spread out.
What lap are we on?
A chance to save it.
Right now, you're on lap 8.
Or he just keeps making moves. He's able to hold the bottom and just go around this track. No problem.
All right, you got one inside.
He's making his way forward. Also, another driver making his way.
The 11 behind you.
John Forbes up 5 positions with a battle for second is under.
That's Forbes, not a chase contender.
And Benjamin Nelson moving up to second place, getting by Douglas Newbiggie.
Kevin's still underneath, left rear.
By a couple of these championship contenders is now Ryan McCann wants to show that he's got a good hand to be moving forward as the 8 machine battles their way forward at this time.
Going to be clear him here. Clear up.
To be used.
11 still with you.
But later on in this
nowhere for him to go. We got kind of bogged down by the 7 inside.
Almost into the grass to make these moves. The outside wall sneaking up on a few drivers.
Sneaking up for sure, but they're running way up against that wall. As you see, the 79 back is entry up there. Looked like it maybe got the 8 a little aero tight going into that corner, not having that clean air on the nose like he did the previous corner. But that's what's going to be really fun about this track. All these different lines. Expecting to see some guys use the top, stay committed.
You are clear.
The driver stay committed to the bottom. Like that 9 car's been committed to the bottom since they dropped the green flag, and he's really been making time.
What lap is this going to be?
Position now.
This is coming to lap 11.
Absolutely incredible racing we're seeing right now. 5 of our 6 championship contenders inside of the top 10 at this moment. There's just one driver that's not a part of this group, and it's Zach Paul, who's lost 6 positions from where he qualified. The 32 has gone with the opposite approach of what Shane Terrian went with, decided to back off and save tires. It's the 9. He's now creeped his way into the top 10, almost up to the top 5.
Almost up to the top 5%. He's just making up that ground, but look at this guy is on the outside now, starting to make up ground too. Ken Campbell now fighting back, getting around Shane Therian on the outside. Ken Campbell showing that high line speed now. As you see other drivers migrate up there too. The 11's been up there for quite the last few laps. He's been making it work. He seems to be one.
Put the line away.
He's up against the wall trying to get as much momentum.
Way to stay a little bit lower than him. Get a little bit of clean air on it. All line away. Good job.
See if he goes back up top as he does into turn 1 and 2, utilizing that high speed, high entry, coming out of the corner to carry all that momentum.
High risk, high reward.
That 3 is definitely on the Larson line.
Taste of what that outside wall is going to give, losing slight momentum on the backstretch, and you got to be careful. Cannot rush the wall too many times. Otherwise, you could get stuck up there and lose all momentum and get ran over from a driver behind you, or you can heavily damage your tires or even the aerodynamics on your.
All right, so far the 79's high in 1 and 2 and low in 3 and 4. We'll see if he keeps up with that. And there he goes.
Pick and choose. You're either going to stick to the white line or you're up to the wall. The weather conditions, perfect for tonight's championship races. We're going to be seeing a day-to-night transition here this evening as the driver is currently racing on a 67 clear day. For the drivers currently, humidity though, that is something that's a little bit, changing for the drivers. That's down in the second to last on the bottom of our.
Both you and Nelson have been faster than the leader for the last 5 laps.
You're damn right it's riskier.
What a win they're dealing with the track temp at 72%.
I ain't taking my eyes off of it yet.
That's a factor that I think these drivers are all going to love. That low, a lot of grip to work with the track temp.
And the grip should go up as the sun continues to set. The shadows will a little longer, eventually disappear, and we'll be in.
You catch that wall in 1 and 2, and you're going to lose
racing here.
Several positions.
Some drivers.
Not seconds.
Challenges with that as you look at
positions.
Right up there, coming in front. That was a great move. Able to throw some air on that car before he got into the corner, maybe make him check with the spec, and he's able to get the pass. And look at this, Nick Crawford.
That right there, you get wheel damage off of.
Another pass here, completely going off.
How do I know? I know. Practice.
We're willing to give up position, maybe up to 5 spots, start to gain back all that track time. You're in the swing laps. The drivers that were being extremely aggressive in the first 10 laps, all that advantage start to fade away. They're starting to move backward. Shane Terry, who was once battling for 5th, now back to 8th place, and drivers that were once outside of the top 10 repeating their way forward, as you see here from the 28 of Brian P. Johnson and the 77 of Brian Noel. Both drivers that were passed by the 9 about 5-8 laps ago. Now it's their time to strike on the outside group, but John Forbes in the 11, that's a driver that is struggling right now. He's gotten into the outside wall a couple of times, but those tires look to be cooked.
He just ran the right rear against the wall a little bit. I know you saw the smoke.
Want to be in.
Oh, yeah.
You do not want to definitely be in that sandwich. You see the 28 being able to get around. Both of these guys now, as he's going to carry that momentum out of the corner. Watch right down this back straight. We see how much momentum the 28 carries out of the corner. He'll probably get past the 11, maybe going into the corner, as they might get 3 wide here. 9's going to go underneath the 11. This is going to get really close. It might be even 4 wide as the 77 look to go to the outside, but decide to back out of spec with 3 wide coming out of the corner. The 9's able to hold the bottom. He still has the grip, but the 11's stuck in that middle. Do not want to be there.
2 drivers down on the apron, got to give each other plenty of room as we're going to stay 3 wide into turn number 1. Ryan's able to make the outside lane.
Check my fuel, make sure I'm going to make our scheduled pit.
Got for a quick second, but now we got about 3, 4, 5 drivers all trying to make their way past this group. And Brian P. Johnson's able to get by now. Noel's going to sneak his way to the inside group, but I'm watching out for Nick Crawford in 11th place. He's snuck up into this pack and trying to make his way forward. Trying to make his way forward. He's going to
Yes.
to the apron here. We're on board with the 77 of Brian Noel. 74 right there, you see on the left side of the screen. Going to try and get around, but Noel's got that outside. He's able to pitch the 74 down.
Right on the number.
Down the back straightaways, you see right in front. Looks like the 11 again getting close to that wall coming out of the corner.
I'll save some extra here because we're going to start slowing down and saving more.
You do not want to.
So that number should start increasing.
Yeah. Feeling the pain. We're now getting closer.
Okay.
20. From last season, this was around the signs, around the rapid. You would see signs of tire wear. We were really very aggressive. We started to get very loose, and the exits would get a lot tougher. The entry point.
You're on lap 20 right now. You got 21 and a half in the tank.
And all these drivers know, if you haven't been careful, you're going to be hurt very soon, as you're seeing this battle continue to rage on. 9th, 10th, and 11th on screen. The battle for second place also starting to get a little bit closer, as Nelson, McCann, and Douglas Newbigin all trying to figure out how to get by one another and run down the 3 of Ryan Kelly.
All trying to figure out how do we get around that 3 car so we can get that one valuable point. As we're on board right here with Benjamin Nelson. See the 8 car coming out, putting a higher line, trying to carry that momentum down the
7 a new beginning, starting to work his way back up.
into the outside. Nelson's going to go to the inside. What will happen coming out of his corner?
Again, not a contender.
If anyone has anything for Brian Kelly,
Nelson's hands are working from the 79th to the move of Brent, and also trying to keep himself centered, but all the picking and choosing of where to go. As you see those hands, poor Nelson just really counter steering through the center off to keep this vehicle straighted. I mean, Justin, we've been watching these vehicles all season long, even last season. It was all about keeping your foot in the throttle. Even if you get sideways, you can keep pretty good speed, even if you're coming off the exit of the corner almost 45 degrees in the wrong angle.
that speed and keep that momentum. This track, you do not want to, if you get out of the throttle, like you said, you're just going to really lose that momentum. This track being such a high-speed course, you don't want to risk giving up any momentum. But man, it's hard when those cars start getting sideways for you. If you don't crack the throttle, sometimes you might end up looping it, like you said. Last time in Kansas, a lot of cautions. That was probably what was happening, Sam. Drivers not wanting to lift, risking losing that momentum. Is look at here, 32 car, maybe now, halfway through this run, is he starting to maybe get ready to make it?
Lap 25 next time by.
A lot of time on track, but driver that all year has shown he's going to be patient, and it's worked out for him plenty of times.
Staying patient, and I'm curious on what the strategy is for Zach Paul. He's making it again his first sign of maybe trying to go for a pass. In the wall, it's Cameron Sard. First driver really losing a lot of time, and the 99 will stay high, falling all the way back to last place, and finally has room to get off the wall. Unfortunate for the 99 machine.
Evan's throwing it in underneath.
But curious for Zach.
Not going to have a run off the corner though.
Ran the slowest, fastest time of anyone on track. Really going with the patience approach is the 32. And you know, we've talked about the last 2 weeks being at mile-and-a-half track.
79 staying in your line now, not going low, not alternating.
It was a lot of talks of do you want to go for a two-stop strategy or
7 low, left rear.
because of the length of the races. There were around 150 laps for the both of them. And the fuel mileage window we were given was anywhere from 43 laps to around 52 laps if you really save your fuel. You can go
Clear low.
here tonight with it being 166.
Giving you plenty of room, not trying to side draft or anything.
Stop. Unless you really burn off your tires. And I'm curious for Zach if it's I'm going to save my fuel, stay out as long as possible, and then try to lead a lap because of those pit cycle, and then make that decision of banking on yellow later on here tonight.
So many decisions and strategies that they would have to decide, especially if a caution is dug up to start doing the math. Like you said, it seems like it's going to be a 3-stop race regardless right now. The only thing I could be thinking is maybe he's going to say, you know what, I'll try and stretch it to 52, 53 if possible. Maybe
Evan is scrubbing the hell out of him.
55. Even then, he would still be short, but maybe he's thinking stop and go at the end, splash of fuel, 2 seconds, get in there, maybe not, and make that third stop be really short at the end.
A lot of different strategies, getting a lot of great racing we're expected to see here tonight. Currently, it's been all right heavy up front. The changing of cycles, the changing of guards.
We're 1.1 to the good now.
They march forward, and right now, the drivers on their way forward. Got 15 of Kent Campbell.
Is that laps?
8 of Brian P. Johnson trying to get by the 15. And
Yes.
Bob Bryson in the orange 63. Qualified second, fell back to outside of the top 5 pretty quickly to protect his tires. Now trying to make that march forward. And curious on what Bryson's theory is going to be here on how he wants to make his march forward, because he has been stuck. A lot of these drivers have been stuck. Not a lot of passes have been going on for the past about 10 laps or so.
Seems like the drivers are just kind of in that phase right there where the tires did what they could do, and right now they got to decide how to get around people. You see the 63 try and go low, but the 28 does as well. That kind of threw a little bit of dirty air on him. Now they would run through the corner probably like he was hoping. So one thing they're definitely going to have to keep an eye on is what is the driver doing in front of them? How do they get that clean air on the car? But it's hard, Sam, when there's 2 in front of you running on the top and the bottom. Not much room else you can go. Not much else in room you can go.
Oh, extremely difficult. I think for a lot of these drivers and teams, it's figuring out the strategies, and then also where's your most comfortable place to be driving, especially with the amount of counter steering we're seeing here tonight.
Caution's out.
Feel comfortable with taking the car high up to the wall.
John Forbes, Chris Wade, none of the chasers.
As possible. You know what? We're going to get that caution lap 30.
You're all set, ready. Come on down pit road.
Forbes caught up in a mess.
We got the full service.
Yes, sir.
And a few others bringing out
That throws our pit off.
And it's going to be drivers trying to go 3
It does.
not sticking between Nick Crawford, Cedric Hunter, Noel, and then a couple of others sneaking on their way through. And Zach Paul, somehow gets by. Here's your replay. They just squeeze up. John Forbes not able to slow down, runs over the 13, and drivers just try to scatter their way through. And right there, sneaking on by, it's Zach Paul, the 32 machine.
Zach Paul getting right through. Keep the
So we'll be if this goes back green on lap 35.
probably some
Actually, stand by.
fire damage. You can see what happens right here, as it looks like this might be the lap before, but we're going to have all this momentum built up to watch this replay and see exactly what
If this goes back green on lap 35, we'll be looking at lap 76.
stacks up the field a little bit. As you see right here, he's up in the wall. See?
He's up in the wall. Cedric Hunter tries to power his way forward. It's that code contact there that swoops the 13. And for John Forbes, there's no way to react in time. These brakes don't like to slow down. And when you have to react on a dime, 11 had nowhere to go, and that's heavy for that damage for John Forbes.
Oh, he actually hit me. Oof.
Luckily, no
I think it did spin me.
for any of these drivers, but A lot of damage.
I thought he was behind me.
Coming into pit road to get service done, and everyone.
Didn't know he was in front of me.
No surprise.
Pit stall wise. We got lucky there.
Like we talked about.
Ready, ready. Come.
This is exactly what happened last
speed.
season. Got around lap 30, and chaos.
Good job. Let me take a look at your rear end just in case.
Lap 30, you were on spot with that strategy clause. You see the driver starting to exit.
You're straight, no problem.
Beat them to the line, but it was close. Maybe Douglas Newbiging might have got one position over Brian McCann, but not sure as it updates now. Looks like Brian McCann was.
I went in P3, coming out P3.
It's going to be interesting throwing Douglas Newbiging up on the outside for the reason
you get speed.
He's running the bottom for most of it.
He wants me to let him by.
Outside and get around these guys and maybe get up there and challenge Ryan Kelly and play spoiler to everyone else.
And a few drivers going to be staying in pit road for extended time. Cedric Hunter, John Forbes, no surprise. Christopher Wade also going to get a little bit extra damage done. And Cameron Sarin, they can say those good races because he was able to get the time into the yellow, going to get a lucky dog spot, and could be around 2 laps down when the cycle is over for pit stops, and able to get a little bit more repairs done for himself.
He pays his pit crews
30
better.
laps in the books. Our first caution of the day.
He probably got in the box better. I didn't get in the box good.
Series, I would say this kind of is the time that we would see a competition caution or a stage yellow. This field does not run with a competition caution, but gives a little bit of a reset. Justin, a good 30th lap run. Also able to come into pit road. There's a lot of data that these drivers just picked up in those first 30 laps.
They were able to get a long run, especially.
Well, now you won't have to wait for the high side to open up, and I have a feeling Kelly's probably going to pick the high side, so you'll be right with him.
It opens up the book now, getting all that data, especially seeing the tire wear. That's going to be the most important. And then those drivers know that the sun's going down, the track's going to cool. Hopefully, tire wear will improve a little bit with the rubber in the track. So now they know if they could drive a little harder. And that's what I want to watch in this restart. Shane Theory in 9th position. He started 20th, drove up to 6th, then faded back to 8th, 9th. As he probably burnt the tires up getting to the front, but now he's got those new tires, Sam, and he knows he's fast on the restarts. Would he be able to drive right to the lead? We're going to find out.
I'm also curious about everyone else in the field. If we're drivers realizing, okay, we got to get a little bit more aggressive with this run, or do we need to back off even more on our tire wear based off how those first 30 laps, those first cautions?
Brian,
it's interesting on how it's going to.
Do you think you'd be able to save 4 laps?
For all of these drivers, want to say thank you to everyone
after you pit on 76
tonight's race. We see Tyler Wren out there, also Morcast, Smart Morales out in.
We'll just have to run this tank empty. I think there's a chance they're going to cut out a pit stop here if they're
commenting,
saving off.
Liking our broadcast.
That's kind of what I was thinking, because if this goes to 76, that's going to be 90 to go. Cutting that in half is going to be lap 45, or I'm sorry, cutting it in 45.
Hit the subscribe button for more great racing action as these WSSR drivers getting prepared for
90 laps in half. There we go. I'll get it right one of these times.
We're excited for a new season, new car. But if you cannot wait for season 9 of WSSR, we got plenty of other great racing series. On Monday, we've got the ISRC Truck Series. We have the conclusion of the BRB Cup Series on Tuesday night.
Oh, Kelly took the bottom side. Interesting.
This upcoming Thursday, we're back.
Well, it's on him this time.
The Shoney's Doghouse Cup Series, they had their 2-week break. Kind of feels odd to be back after 2 weeks, but those drivers put on a show. They've had plenty of time to get their setups right.
Everybody, let's go.
Setup league. Cannot wait to see how they're prepared.
Pace cars off.
Right, but for tonight's championship runs, championship series.
Ready.
Championship drivers.
Go.
Our top 10. Who is willing to go for all the gold as the WSSR versus the
Bar clear low if you want it.
A championship race is back underway. The Freaky Fast finale here at Kansas.
Clear low.
It's going to be Ryan Kelly, Douglas Newbiging. Great launch for the both of them as they roar down into turn number 1.
Going in turn 1, but Ryan Kelly jumps out to that lead, but Douglas Newbiging able to get into 2nd position, staying down on that bottom like we've seen most of this race, see if he's able to get to Ryan Kelly's bumper here early on while these tires are fresh and make any kind of move. Let's look at Shane Theory down on the bottom, trying to make those passes and work that magic again in the beginning of the restart.
Terrian making the charge and not waiting for anyone. He's up now to 6th place, but up front it's still.
He's going to try to look high.
Moving, no other.
That must want to block that.
He's not there. Nope, he's there now.
Everyone else has tried their best opportunities, but no one's been able to get that clean air. And now we're going to see one again.
That sucks.
28 right rear.
In 20th did not didn't have the
I'm gonna get a freight train here, ain't I?
second lap in qualifying.
Stay low.
And start all the way back in the pack. Back
Let's see.
his way through the field. And now
Shane Therian's behind him. Shane's actually going to give you a little bit of a shot. Nope, going to back up a little bit.
Johnson, two favorites of the field every time we go to the
Shane went up high, kind of riding that middle line right there.
Another in the 9. That's a slow up, but almost ran into McCann there.
9 is just able to get into the corners. It seems he's able
You are 3 wide, bottom.
5-6 feet deeper.
Hold your line, hold your line.
Makes up that ground, but the most important thing is he's able to hold it, get through.
28's on the apron with you. Stay still 3 wide.
He's able to get to the outside of the 28. 28's not going to come up into nothing.
Still 3. You're on the bottom.
That was a good call.
You
I didn't know that.
are clear up, sir.
Up Johnson for a quick second on the exit corner. All 3 drivers having their own tails, but they survive. They keep pushing forward. Right now, he's loving all the action in his mirror because he's not dealing with anyone to his inside or outside. But Therian does make the move. He's able to move up to 3rd, battling with Douglas Newbigin, staying to the tire tracks of our leader as Nelson. He's searching for any little bit of speed, and the 79 almost crushing the wall.
Oh, the 79 got really close to that, but the 9 got around.
1 inside, left front.
Entire lap, that was
You've got the momentum back.
to the bottom.
Get your marks.
Get in the
Sit in
middle there.
P5.
A little bit, not
7's still low.
kiss it. It looked like
You're clear low.
really powering down coming out of the corner, showing his really fast.
Good job, Brian. Way to rebound.
Seeing if he's able to maybe save those tires and have something for them and get these points, get these laps led. Is he able to get around to 3 coming out of this corner? Look at that car, it just turns. Able to drop to the bottom, going to get down there, use the apron, take the shortcut, and now will he be able to hold the
Shane Therian just took the lead. Forcefully took the lead. Now back side by side.
We talked about the
Mark him down for a point if you did.
lap window. When we've seen pockets pop up in the past here,
I got him, sir.
it gives a huge advantage to the drivers that
He
great at seeing. They're
sent it, didn't he?
a lot better at. We just gotta push the car as much.
Yes, he did.
And then bank on a caution flag to come out later in the race. Shane Therian's one of those drivers. Again, if you haven't watched the WSSR before, Shane Therian is probably in the most unique position of all drivers. He drives with a
3 does not like dirty air.
instead of with the steering wheel, he's racing with a joystick, and he is hoping that the joystick's going to help him get into victory lane as he is pushing so much more aggressively, and he's able to just hold on.
Now, Therian was quick early, but he fell back quite a bit.
Like he's out there on the steering wheel. It's incredible how he's able to do it. But he makes it work. He's got it programmed in his mind, knows exactly how to do it. He's got the muscle in.
Nelson's now looking underneath the 3 as well. They're side by side for P2.
These drivers, he's running the inside lane, making it work, making the passes down there, and he's now got these 2 guys behind him side by side. That's going to help 9 maybe pull away.
And for Shane Therian leading a lap, that is a bonus point for himself. Brian Kelly having the first.
This is all great for you because it'll take the chances of the 3 leading the most laps away.
To slide his way forward.
So
And as
let Shane lead a lap. Let Ben Nelson lead a lap.
this new biggie, but as we felt
Let Ryan
Shane's-
Kelly lead a lap.
that are running
Shane's closer to me in points, ain't he?
field, we all
No, Shane he's 4 behind now after leading a lap.
as they are battling back in 14th position for now. Just
He started 5 back.
in as our other championship contender, Zach Hall.
Talking about championship points, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
this yet to
10-4.
10 is the 32 machine.
Yet to crack the top 10, but we'll have to make some mental notes here. He was running about 16th to 18th position in that first run, about 4.4 seconds back. Now he's only about less than 2.5 seconds back, and he's up to 12. So maybe he's just slowly but surely taking his time, getting through the car, getting the field out. But really, now that his sun is down, this is how the car.
Nelson threw that in trying to get the slide job.
We're starting to maybe see
That just allowed Brian Johnson to be right all over them.
pulled off a little bit, changed a bit the way he's got to drive. He's going to have to adapt to it now as he drop back.
Killing them tires.
Yes, they are. All for a single point.
Lead in almost disaster in the center of 3 and 4. Shane Therian, Benjamin Nelson. Nelson went for the slide job move, and it almost backfired as they were able to keep it off of one another and off the wall, but Nelson had a huge slide that almost took out the 9 machine. They'll get back in line. You can see the loss of momentum just from that lack of speed off of 4. It just carried all the way.
Got 3, you're outside.
And now Nelson is battling for his life for 4th place.
That would have been a huge moment. Luckily, these guys
They're in, kind of tagging the wall just a little bit.
end up in the accident or
You are clear up.
the race over. That could have been really detrimental for a lot of these leaders, especially most of them being championship contenders up front. That could have been a huge change in the field.
Driver that wish he was in the championship 6. You got the 20.
Yeah, I thought maybe I could get around Ryan, but hell no.
Inaugural champion at 60.
I learned what Ben Nelson did.
The 28.
Or I learned how. I can't talk. I should have stopped talking.
The championship round. His prowess.
I get you, buddy.
He was the first season champion, and he's finished second.
All right, 79 outside.
Championship runs.
Still there.
Here tonight, running
clear
second.
You are clear up.
Here at Kansas, battling for third place. Ryan
Back P4.
able to slot his way forward past Nelson. Nelson now under trouble from Brian McCann, and this is exactly what McCann needs to do. Needs to push forward, because at this current moment, Ben Campbell, Shane Terrian, both tied just 4 points off of Nate Machine. If McCann finishes back in fourth where he runs right now, Terrian would win the championship.
Back up a little bit. There you go.
For winning the
Way to
race.
reflex. Good job.
The championship race ended directly now.
And that could all change if Brian McCann can get up there and just lead one lap. That can give him one extra point as he's actually
You are.
right here. Drop under Ryan Kelly going into turn 3.
They are testing that outside.
And look at that. The 8 car is actually going to be under the 28 as well.
Cars split by 2.
Make a stick.
28 right front, 3 right rear.
Down below the apron. Use some draft off the 9. You're looking for 3 and the 28. Fight
Clear.
outside going in 1.
Stay low.
To find back, but Johnson just did not have the run he was hoping.
You're clear
Not
high.
clear.
Clear high.
Has to back off slightly as we see Nelson.
3's going to go charge back up now.
Those full top 4 drivers still putting on a great show. Zach Hall still mired back in 12th. And Ken Campbell stuck in 7th. That's not really seen the 15 have as an incredible run as he did last week in Charlotte. And need a little bit more speed, and also has to make sure he stays off the wall as he's seeing new bigging as well as Nelson having their mix.
We need to look at our pit strategy.
Yeah, the wall is definitely.
Yep. It should be lap 76.
Those drivers, it just seems to
And after that, it'll be 90 to go.
be there at the end.
If you can get an extra couple out of it, that'd be great. If not,
and then see what he has. But right now, he's
everybody's going to be short.
79. Try and show his worth is. Wonder what's going on with the 79. He's really starting to back up now, Sam.
I mean, Nelson did everything that he could to try to take that lead position, and then tried to fight with Shane Terry, and a lot of those
Three cars blinking a little bit.
tearing those tires, and I think he's starting to feel the pain at this current time for Nelson as we fall back to Larry Yangling and Bryson Dixon all out of that group to be cycled around. You want to settle in at this current moment. Don't want to get too antsy of losing too many spots, because track position with all the championship contenders up front, Nelson needs these drivers to get into a wreck or burn it. Nelson, Hall, too many points back. They need almost all the other contenders to finish outside the top 10 for them to win at this championship. And there's a lot of hard work.
Arian's coming back to you.
But you never know. Benjamin Nelson, Zach Hall might find
Got Ken lurking as well.
end of the day. But
Yeah, Ken's behind you by about 2/10.
trying to make his charge forward with Larry Yingling right in front of him, and all he can say, put the pressure behind.
You see the 74 drop to the bottom. He's going to try and get some pressure underneath the 79. The 67 looks like he clears him coming out.
Ken looking low, threw it in.
Spot lost for Benjamin Nelson.
Got nothing off the run,
It's this year right now.
or nothing off the corner.
But it's early. The race isn't halfway over. We know he definitely is a driver that has speed. He'll get it figured out. But right now, he's under attack from everyone out there. He's about to drop outside the top 10 if he's not able to get any more speed coming out of these corners.
He's got new bigging to his inside.
To get around him.
That might be finding themselves in some trouble as back in 15th place. You see Danny Cochran.
I heard the broadcast say if we finish right now, Sharon would win.
Cody Reed. They're trying to find a way to get by Zach Hall in that 12th.
It would be, if he finished right there,
spot.
he's already made up 1 point. You had 4 points on him, it would be a tie. And he hasn't won a race.
Position is the 3 is bounced
I believe he has.
through the center.
Okay, then
And now
got to move up.
the lead position.
3's challenging him for the lead right now.
Shane Terrian's trying to defend. He'll stay high. The 3's not able to gas it up where he wants, but he finally hits the throttle pedal. He'll be drag racing their way through the front stretch.
He's going to go down to that apron, try and utilize a little bit shorter track. But is he going to be able to hold it to the bottom going down in turns 1 and 2? You see the backfire coming out of the car. He's
I would think you'd have to be in 5th.
down to the white line yet.
Because 4th still counts for 4th in points.
You can see the car
Doesn't matter.
Bonus point for winning.
hold it down.
How does that
And He's got that outside groove where three's okay. Able to slide up to the wall.
Yep, you're right.
Back off a little bit here. Maybe regroup, get back to the outside. Doesn't want to risk the 28 getting any closer, taking a position.
And another bonus point, most laps led.
About the 3 a little bit.
If he stays up there, but right now the 3's not gonna. I don't think the 3's gonna let that happen.
Maybe he's changed the car. He figured it out. He's all over to 9 right now. He's gonna get this lead soon. I don't know.
He's
still there. But it's another
definitely ill handling.
This is exactly what Ryan Kelly did under those first 30 laps of this race. But again, like we noted on this top kind of the rate that
there you go.
Every 25 to 30 laps.
That's a championship.
Something to watch out for.
That's it.
Bomb slide job work, but he gets into the wall. Shea Terry with a slight clip. No, McCann into the wall. Just multiple playoff contenders.
He clipped you into the wall.
They're into one another. McCann still in the wall, going backwards. He drops all the way from 3rd to 18th place. McCann's hopes for a championship might loom and lie, and needing a caution, and he continues to stay in the outside wall. His hands off the wheel and just frustration. He just was battling for the lead, but too much damage. Oh no, Justin! All in a blink of an eye. McCann required damage.
Wow.
Has to go to pit road, but he might just park it and take the dough.
You saw it happened live there, right here on the replay. Just innocent bystander to 9. He's going to come out of the corner, slide right up in front of 3 to 3, gets a little bit of that dirty air, I believe, and he gets into the wall and kind of just caused a check up, and the 28 and the 8 got into each other. Oh no, Sam, like you said, terrible. Walk us through it right here, come out of this corner.
Out of the corner again, you're going to see the 3 goes for the slide job loop, rushes the wall, but then just trouble of trying to react.
You were clear, he did not.
Drivers around him. The outside wall breaks a toe length there. Keep it off everyone else.
Non-championship driver just dumps me.
Frustration and just a give-up moment.
I was faster than him, cleared him.
Coming into tonight with
all he had to do was like pull low or
now all the way down in 21st position.
Get off the gas.
2 laps down, yet to leave pit road, still with required damage, and it is now a wide open race. Who's going to get it? Because now we've got 2 drivers that were tied for the points between Shea Terry and Ken Campbell. With the way bonus points have lined up, Ryan Kelly still has a chance to win this thing, but it's a dogfight and everyone.
Pretty sure that was going to be ours.
Say anything?
You saw how aggressive and
did I?
That blocked on him out of the corner, but I don't.
I didn't say that.
No, did he say anything?
Front tire, I see it sticking out a little bit. Maybe the tire's kicked in a speck. It just seems like it maybe has a little bit of damage under right now. Is being 9 blocking that air, but we'll have to kind of watch on that, Sam, if that affects him later.
That's the league admin, so he would have to give himself a penalty.
Right now, he's not showing any ill effects.
I mean, maybe there was some knowledge that Benjamin Nelson knew before us. Nelson was a part of this group, and then just fell.
Unreal.
He's now back to 15th place.
Take a look at his right front.
His contenders that were so aggressive up front. A couple of them grabbing now damage, and now banking on a caution as we are
no damage on him at all.
Into this new run. Drivers know this is around that spot where if you haven't been protecting your tires, I
mean, we were looking real good for that one too.
A lot easier into one another, as seen Kelly drifting it off the wall, just great.
Absolutely.
My heart skipped a beat there. I really thought he was going to slide up into that wall. It just visually looked like he was about to slap it one more time.
I just didn't think he would
wreck me. And these guys, they all got to calm back down.
Like, damn.
They got to realize this race is not over. There's not 2 laps to go. We still have over 100.
I don't know who his teammates are, but
cycle, like you said.
I mean,
maybe
look how far back now he is. He's in 6th.
Right now, maybe they realize let this race.
I mean, he could have very well done that on purpose and be like, "Oh, he slid up in front of me."
His way right to these 2 leaders. He has a chance to get up there
but
and this race.
Being the only guy out here and not having teammates, it kind of sucks too. So
if Ken Campbell can lead a lap,
I thought something like that might happen.
And technically, he'll have a 1-point advantage over Shane Terrian, as Zach Hall willing to put himself in a difficult situation, trying to get by Nick Crawford, Danny Cochran. Those are 2 drivers that Zach commentates over on Monday night for the ISRC.
All right, well,
how much damage do you have?
Has been stuck in.
The require's done, but that thing was. I had no steering.
And now, for the first time,
I got 3 minutes left of optional, so
a chance to crack into the top 10.
6 laps down, ain't no way.
Top 10 before halfway shows that maybe he knows what he's doing, taking care of stuff.
We were talking in before the race started that it was probably going to go green most of the way, and well,
settle in. and then work his way to the front. He's a great.
Ken's in a real good spot to
I mean, that's what this race is
possibly did it here.
we know his car is clean. That could be really important. But
Kelly is like 9 points down or something.
Shane Therian, he's
producer Robert and ask him if we can get in car.
he's still leading.
Of the 8.
Yeah, Shane and Ken
Kelly's
are the contenders right here, I
There was
think.
so much drama.
Yeah.
In this race, say when it may be under a caution, we'll go in there and check that out, because that just you just feel so bad for the 8. He had such great speed, and just before you know it, boom, he was in the wall.
Yeah, it was just in an instant. It was taken away, and really no chance.
Boom, he was in a wall.
Zach Hull continues to try to put his pressure
Aye.
forward and back up front. Challenge for the lead. It's Shane Therian and Ryan Kelly going to be side by side across the line. That lap going to be led by Shane Therian. And
Boy.
at this moment for the 9 machine, trying to go for the most laps led. And as they continue to race back and forth, Kelly takes the lead. Last time he made this move, he got into the wall, and he'll drift into the wall almost again, giving Shane Therian that position to the inside.
Wow, the 9's pitting early.
Every slide allows the 15.
He could have gone at least another
as well as the
10 or 11 laps, maybe 12.
Wow, look, the 9, he's going in.
Well, if you split it 166 minus
gonna have to-
131,
those tires, but you saw it from the view before that. The 3
He can't go 50 laps.
hands moving inside that car, trying to keep it off the wall.
no, he's cutting it into
Sam, this was some
fours.
Great feedback you mentioned.
So yeah, he went 32 laps, so 67 minus.
On who led the most laps between Brian Kelly and Shane Therian. But Therian's going to go in those pits and try and get those fresh tires.
But the
Yeah, no,
fall-off's only
Before Brian Kelly's able to track him back.
He's
down.
doing right.
Hi, John.
Ken Campbell, he wants to get up.
He's doing the
half a
right
second.
strategy.
Be able to do it here in the next couple laps.
I'm shocked to see this extremely early pit stop by Shane Therian. Maybe thought
That move right there, as long as a caution doesn't come out, it's going to win the race.
for the 28 machine going to be the
No,
driver.
he's going to gain so much time on them here.
Campbell continues to stay high, trying to run.
Shane's going to win this if it goes green.
Ryan Kelly and Kelly again. You can see that front
100%.
left, right.
the fall-off's not that great though.
Really getting
I don't-
in every slide.
Okay, maybe I'm missing something, but
Continue to
it
worry
just
about that damage as this race progresses.
doesn't seem that way to me at least.
On track, just gonna be one lap.
You're better at this than I am, so
Pit road doesn't want to wait any longer, as well as Christopher Norris hit pit road. Welcome to a full green flag pit cycle. Now from here for the next 5 to 6 laps, expecting a lot of drivers to hit pit road.
And it's about 37 laps since we went green, so they are
Yeah,
a little bit sooner.
they're starting to figure it out
This
now.
is part of strategy when they start to do the reverse math on how
Because
many
you can't make it
now in lap
2 pit stops. You got to pit 3 more times from where we started
give them the
when we went
most
green.
fresh tires.
So if you cut it in thirds,
on the rest of the
you
stuff they
run
have to do, but Ken Campbell
32
gets another
laps
lead in that lap.
a stint. So 32, 32, 32, 32 into the race.
Now going into turn 1, able to get in front of them and lead that lap actually.
It will lead that lap and take some
instead of trying the long game.
banking on, and now and for John Ford,
Yeah, because I don't think we're going to.
pit road.
I don't know. I'm wrecked,
A little
but
bit of
I don't think they were going to make it on the
pitted Christopher Norris
Yeah,
in the middle of the
long run.
field. He had a lot of wear on that front right tire on that run and that stint for about 35 laps. He had worn his tires down by 53%. It got all the way down to 53% on his front right, his back rear right, 66% left on those tires. So they are getting torn up here tonight, just in 35 laps.
I would love to know. But
I think there's going to be 13 cautions.
He was sliding coming out of the corner and he's leading, so we know
Down 13 laps.
But
No.
power.
No.
Really interested to see what his tire wear was.
Jeez.
Find that out over the radio or at the end of the race if we're able to talk to him. But that's great feedback by Christopher Norris. Have to thank him for sharing that to all these viewers out here, giving us that valuable detail information.
Some more drivers hit pit road. Ollie Fonseca as well as James Heater now going to hit pit road for themselves. And with Shane Therian hitting pit road as early as he did, I'm just curious on how that's influenced a lot of those other championship contenders around one another. As you see the John Forbes cam focusing right now, currently part of that group that pitted early back in 18th place as he's trying to run down Zach Hall, who's just leaving pit road now. And other drivers that have hit pit road, trying to exit pit road, I should say. Ollie Fonseca and James Heater.
Shane's biggest risk is going a lap down, though. He is a lap down right now.
They're banking on being 73 laps
Yeah.
into this race.
It
Yeah.
could be really scary.
Yeah, right now he's the first car 1 lap down.
So many guys lap down. I mean, they could take the wave around. They would be on older tires, and that could be something that would not be really good for those guys. Shane Therian's going to want to try and get up.
Funny enough, P10.
The hard way and try and get around the leader in case that caution does come out. At least he'd be back on the lead lap. But right now he is in that spot to be the lucky dog, so that would save him somewhat, but these rest of the field, they
It
definitely
sure will here in about a lap and a half.
stay out for another 5 to maybe 10 laps on fuel, what we're expecting. So we might not see pit stops exactly.
Them other guys, they're not going to be able to save.
They really got to get back and get that lap back.
Yeah, the fuel went.
That'd be tough because it was. They'll have to save 2 laps every stint.
43,
It's possible.
48. If you were in the fuel saving window of automatically clutching,
I think it is. I think it's absolutely possible. That's why I was asking when you were pulling off Fair Road.
50.
But
If you
nobody
save
up,
overall 5 laps.
3 laps, but I'm
nobody up where I was running was saving.
that
So
far, unless you're trying to
I don't think they're going to make it.
lap 80. That could be a window these drivers are looking for.
The leader is clutching.
Kind of turns this race a little more manageable.
Both of them are clutching.
43.
But they just started it, I think.
You're trying to break this.
No, he gave up. He went
Be
in.
a better thought moving forward as the rest of the field. Are they maybe stuck in instead of a 2-stop from here on out, or 1 stop from here on out, turning into a 2-stop from here on out? Hit 2 more times before this race is over.
I don't know.
Will definitely be
Arian's between 1.3 and 1.6 seconds faster than those around them.
And that could be what we're in store for tonight. These drivers, maybe they're just
I'm bouncing around the idea of logging off and going and just watching the broadcast.
maybe try and steal the win or get that championship by doing some strategy. But right now, Christopher Nelson.
What do you think,
Benjamin
Repeat?
Nelson, I'm sorry.
If you want to do that, that's fine.
For Nick Crawford.
Yeah, I'll watch it with you.
Who's coming out of the corner, not what the 79 was hoping to see in front of
In
him.
Discord, I'll watch it with you.
I think the driver that I'm kind of interested most on.
I was just thinking about the.
2.5.
I don't know if I'm
Up to you.
into the stream early.
Second place, but Newbegin was a part of the cluster.
Actually, it's just you and Derek watching, so.
Marion, Brian B. Johnson, Ryan Kelly decided a different run for the 7.
Well, I might have some people logging in late to see the end of it.
Interesting calls by the 7.
So they'll probably wonder
work out here and then once this pit cycle
where the stream's
all the
at.
way through as we're 77 laps in, less than 100 laps to go.
Because that's what most people do. They wait till the last, like, 30
We're gonna
minutes.
hit pit road as Nelson, Crawford, they continue to stay out, as well as another driver who hits pit road is going to be Cedric Hunter in the 13 machine.
So you see the 79, he's going to get that lap led, which is going to be really important, as you know. Something he definitely wants to do, but look at the guys on fresh tires. Just take it to the outside,
I'll stick around.
fly by these guys. That's how much time right now. If you stayed out on old tires, you're getting.
Nelson.
These guys are just flying through the corner. You can see right here the 11. Look at that, just goes. It looks like the 79 is.
Nelson doing.
very slow and
He did 43 laps there. He'll be able to do it.
Decided is Nick Crawford is going to follow him as well.
And
All right, Derek, take it easy.
77. There's Brian Noel. Will be the last driver to hit pit road. Looking through all the drivers
That
made
maybe
this.
that's why Nelson dropped off. Maybe he
Danny Cochran, who had
figured that out and said, "Screw this," and then started fuel saving.
Luckily, not have a black flag on pit entry,
Yep.
but also get a black flag on pit exit. So these 3 drivers still not completely safe. Sadly, again, Ryan McCann looks to be out of this race, sitting in pit road, just getting all the damage repair, but most likely his night is completely over for the 8 machine. Cameron Sarton in the 99 machine is in a spot where he's decided to call it a night after his major clobber into the outside wall earlier in the race.
Oh, we got you, Derek. Well, you can sit in here and talk with us then.
Drivers still out on track, and the championship hopes, well, they were a 10-point difference from Brian McCann back to Benjamin Nelson. It's dropped a little bit. Now the difference on points between now Ken Campbell to Benjamin Nelson, the last 5 drivers out there on track, just a mere 6-point difference. It's anyone's game right now. And for a couple of those drivers, they still have a lap led bonus point to be grabbed and another bonus point of winning the race, leading the most laps. If you lead every lap from here on out, you will take that crown. But
Let's count how many practice laps I put on.
Screen, Shane Tarian in the 9.
He was a driver that hit pit road first. We saw him about 3 laps before Brian Kelly go in, and I think his strategy, Sam, it might have been, you know what, if I go in right now, be the first to pit, I know.
What'd you say? Count how many practice laps you're in?
Eventually once it cycles, but I'll have the advantage of those fresh tires, and if he could lead another 10, 20 laps, that gives him a cushion over Ryan Kelly. If Ryan Kelly
Probably embarrassing to say.
Johnson, who's in between them now. So Shane Therian maybe trying to get that bonus point in most laps, and at least know that regardless of what happens in this race, he's able to get max points on bonuses.
Actually, not that much.
The race will be in really good shape then.
It would be incredible to see how this race is going to.
I think I did somewhere between 400 and 500.
Night is over. The drivers still at least have one more, maybe 2 more pit stops before the night is done. But for us here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, we're going to step away for our first break of the evening. Your top 5.
I had it all figured out.
Johnson in second, Ryan Kelly in third,
Like all the
Campbell fourth, and
passing and
got up in that early
settings and
in the top 5.
the thing that
Watching the Freaky
got me the
Fast
most was the fuel strategy.
for the WSSR Roast the Gems Cup Series Championship race. We'll be back right after this.
Now Shane's the leader,
Yep.
but Nelson is not a lap down.
Johnson's 3/10 back. Johnson's on the bottom side. Shane's up high.
If Shane wins this on a controller, I'm pretty sure this driver right here, Shane, last I heard he was on a controller. I don't know if he ever upgraded or not, but that would be mighty impressive if he comes out here and wins this thing. Either that or he's lying. I don't know.
They mentioned him on a controller earlier in the broadcast.
Oh, they did? Ooh.
Hey, this is Benjamin Nelson, your Season 7 WSSR Cup champion. I'd like to give a thanks to Roasted Gems Coffee, Trophy Smack, all the admins at WSSR, Snowy Desert Racing, everybody that tunes in to the Freaky Fast broadcast every week, including my family and friends, co-workers as well. And I am so honored to be able to hoist this beautiful trophy. I've never been more proud to be a champion.
They're so far spread out now. There's a few of them.
Yeah.
No, I ain't seen that, Derek.
Pit road is always the difference.
Ooh. That, what they're calling, that part where they go around turn 5 and do that right-hander then left-hander, that's going to be tough.
What are you talking about?
The layout that, where we race go-karts
Oh,
at.
gotcha.
Yeah, I ain't never seen that layout before.
How much longer does IROC run this season?
Then into like June, I think.
Okay. I was gonna say I could try to get you into Shake and Bake if they're running sometime soon. That way you get some next gen experience if you're planning on running the next season of this league.
Yeah, I'll be running next season of this one. And it's June. June 17th is the last race.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually when they end too. That week or the next week. I hear a ghost.
It's
I don't know what that is.
It's the broadcast and the way that I'm filtering it. They got cars going around the track right now, but part of the car sound's coming through.
Back, ladies and gentlemen, to the WSSR Roast the Gems Cup Series Season 8 Championship race, the championship round. 2 races the drivers had to deal with.
I'm using AI to filter it.
All championship 6, all
It's not
of the
perfect.
championship 6 drivers started at 0, and after Charlotte was done, Brian McCann came away with a 4-point buffer into tonight's race, with Ken Campbell being in second. Shane Tarrant was 5 points out. Brian Kelly was 6 points out. Zach Hall was 9 points out, and Benjamin Nelson a total of 10 points out from a championship. But after a lot of
let's look.
Brian Kelly, he's caught him.
Has turned upside down as Brian McCann is in pit road with major damage.
And Campbell's half the backstretch away.
The 28 bumping the 8 off the exit of turn 4 and turning the 8 into the outside wall. It was one of those incidences where Brian Johnson could have let off or give a bump and trusted that the bump wasn't going to turn the 8. It turned the 8 machine, and now Brian McCann's hopes of a championship in his rookie season are up in smokes. And the 5 final drivers, with the way that bonus points have lined up, with drivers leading a lap, others not.
Yeah, it's got to be getting close. What
difference?
What did I say? I don't remember if I said 32.
Tarian, Kelly,
lap 99. If it's 32, it's lap 99.
Report your top 3 on track are in screen now.
Yeah, that's 5 laps.
Caution, but it feels like we should have had 3, Justin, as the field is closed.
Campbell's coming down pit road.
Shane Tarrant trying to go for his first championship. Ryan
Campbell.
What did he speed? Almost lost it.
Championship of the WSSR right between them.
Right between him and 28 is stuck right between these 2 guys.
Well, he's running that rear brake bias.
28, he has speed though all night. But Ryan Kelly, he's been one of the drivers that had speed this whole race. Has that little bit of damage we talked about.
He locked the rear up.
Drive this car, no problems through these corners, trying to work that inside line to get around these 2. But most importantly, Sam, like you brought up earlier in the broadcast, Shane Thurian now has led about 20 to 25 laps more than Ryan Kelly. So Ryan Kelly's going to want to try and get around him. Because this
he's away
down to that 1 bonus point. That's probably why they've been battling so hard all night to try and be the leader to get those valuable extra bonus points.
Trying to get those extra bonus points, and how do you change?
Johnson might just wreck 2 playoff contenders. I mean, championship contenders.
That's changed so far.
That would be bad.
Dropped down by 1 degree, 67 to 66.
Oh, no.
9's coming in. He's
I think he made it.
Just leaving pit road back in 19.
Let's go back and look at that speed.
Wow. Trying to be aggressive as hell.
He made it. He made it.
A bit of a slide across the line.
He's good.
The other drivers setting up for their second to last pit stop.
Did he back? He's in his box too. I thought he shot the box.
Sprint. Every little
He's gonna have to back that one down a little bit if he wants a chance.
Slipping away. Then you go for another dash to finish out the race. Well, there's about 9 other drivers that have 1 pit stop from here.
He was all kinds of
all the way to
rear brake as well.
As they're thinking about pitting around lap 20.
Yeah, they are running that rear brake.
15.
I wasn't.
That would be really interesting. Shane Thurian, I feel like these guys are just in the pits, but like you said, they want to maximize.
That is one benefit of being on a controller there, because on the controller he just flicked it, that way.
Well, that opened.
Whereas me, it takes 2.5 rotations on him. It's just
2, and then can
flick of a
like
whatever.
See on screen right here. Can he stretch it to you, like you said, 115?
Because I could have never done that.
And only have to do it on 1 more stop.
I'd have to go hand over hand.
Have to pit at least 1 more time, and he just did now. So that would be 2 more for him.
Yeah.
Especially if it was the next gen, you try to save it like that, you're going to the outside wall.
30, it kind of changed the name of the game. It turned into.
Look at that steering wheel, though.
Either you go for a 2-stop after that first caution came out, or a 3-stop, which is the way the last 2 races have been.
You can tell he's flicking it around.
Better one in the last 2 races. It's been the strategy of pitting more. You're using a lot more.
That's impressive on the controller.
Much time. The drivers are going to be willing to pit more, hoping the strategy continues on tonight's race. Up to cross over to lap 100, completed of 166. The added 16 laps really changed the dynamic of how these drivers.
Where's Nelson at?
You'll have to ask him in Discord if he's actually still running a controller or not.
In the middle of the thick of things, he's been in the traffic all night long. And through the pit cycle, currently runs in 5th place at this time. Again, it's already seen 8 drivers hit pit road. It's tonight's race, 166 laps. No.
Shane's currently a lap down. Ken actually pitting early past him.
Tires in pit road to work.
So Ken is in front of Shane.
Using their 3rd set to only have 2
Where's Shane at?
with from here on out. I think that could be another factor to watch out for as battling.
Nope, they're battling. Three. Oh, look at this. Oh, they're gonna wreck.
Drivers with fresh rubber making their charge forward as Ken Campbell.
Look at that.
Good save.
For a championship, but also
Look at that 3-wide action here.
Hold on, hold your breath. Ken Campbell gets through. Shane Terrian has to back off, and what a move for both of those drivers.
Oh.
Terrian,
Wow.
slamming the brakes, and
Wow.
they keep it all together.
The number 15 of Ken Campbell, if he walks away, getting the race win and championship, that could be the move tonight as he was able to, through that pit stop.
That was a damn move. I want to go back on Ken's on board and see that.
Move by Ken Campbell, showing his aggression here in this final race, showing that he wants to come home to championship. Sam, wow, that was shocking.
It was shocking, but it hurts Terrian and Campbell a lot here. They're going to have to split once again through traffic as they're actually going to be almost thinking about going 4 wide.
So Shane is behind Ken right now.
Dogging that throttle.
They'll stay in line, but this group of 2,
Ken actually backed out.
Moment through 3 and 4, they've lost over a second of time to Ryan Kelly, who's behind him. Terrian making the pass, getting by Ken Campbell. Campbell will not be able to be slotted in a position to lead a lap.
Oh, Shane got back in front.
But the 15 tried his best as Terrian.
We are live now.
Yep.
As Kelly's trying to roll.
He slid job. Or slide
How
job.
hard they're racing.
Lidded.
That little bit of time they gave up from that slide in there and getting on the brakes and going through the traffic like that, that could play into the hands of someone like Douglas Newbig and Zach Hall, who look to be.
So the people going for the championship
doing that strategy
that are on the
one of the drivers that did stay out
the fuel save strategy is Nelson and Hall.
116, 117. We know they'd be good to go. Probably make it to the end. Maybe have to clutch a little bit on the final couple laps.
Crawford's not in the championship. And then the guys doing the short pitting is Therian, Campbell,
Look at
Kelly,
championship hopefuls. 6
and me in the pits
tonight for a chance to win a championship. Just 5 are now left on the track as Brian McCann is now out of this race.
I still think you can get it.
Down in Silent Pit Road. Zach Hall.
We just need about 60 cautions in a dream.
On track in 5th place. And Nelson has been on the backtrack, falling back quickly for all drivers. But you talk
48
about,
cautions.
You know, the different strategies drivers are trying. Christopher Norris luckily gave us, under our first green flag pit stop, his tire window of how much his tires were burnt off. This stint, everyone kind of pushing the limit a little bit more, used up an extra 6% of tire wear on Christopher Norris. He was down to just 47% of tire wear after this stint.
Really just pushing the tires, getting all they can out of it. And that's with them maybe not going the full entire distance on fuel either. So even more wear could happen for someone who does stay out longer, try to do that strategy to get to maybe lap 115, 118, to make it to the end on only one more stop. But knowing that information that we know right now, I mean, how critical is it? Giving up just that speed, will the one-stop strategy pay off? I think
Shane,
like maybe Bryson Hicks.
Shane is the leader of the fuel savers.
Is we're only about
no.
9 to 10
leader of the short pitters.
Window where if they can make it there.
Kelly is in second. Ken is in third.
One more final stop, but is it enough time?
The fuel savers. Let's go to
with an opposite strategy.
the leader of the fuel savers is Bryson.
Currently runs 4th and has a little bit of extra fuel to work with to try to push his limits.
We need to go to Nelson. Nelson, I don't think Bryson's going to make it, so let's go to Nelson.
That he's looking for.
And he's got to go 43 plus.
They can go around 52 laps on their fuel stint, but are you
Let's see. Ben Nelson, he was last on pit road, lap 78.
As we're in the less than 60 laps to go window.
I was saying earlier that you'd have to come down 76, so he did go those 2 laps.
Out.
So if he can do it again,
already in a good spot.
He can do it.
As they run, Zach Hall.
It's going to be like 122, 123, I think.
Biggest underdog, you can look at all drivers currently on how their pace has been here tonight. Needs a lot of help to get back into the fight for a championship. Then you move up.
Unless he can squeeze one more out of it.
He is 3rd fastest of all drivers that have already made their 2nd green flag stop of the evening. And then right in front of the 15 machine in 10th and 9th place, Shane Terrian, Ryan Kelly. These are the top dogs to watch out for. Terrian, once again, in a fabulous holding off position. And you talked about how Zach Hall is the underdog of the night based off how his pace has been. But if you look at the stats of how the season's been, Shane Terrian is actually the underdog of the field. He's gotten 2 wins, but if you look at his top 5, top 10s, the numbers are very small compared to everyone else. Only 4 top 5s for Shane Terrian and 7 top 10s for the 9 machine. He was coming into tonight. It's either make or break. He is very much not a middle ground driver. He's either winning.
So if he comes in 123,
It's so surprising to learn that fact.
166 minus
Sharing it for the viewers, 'cause
123.
If I had to guess, I would think he would have had a lot more time.
No, he can come in 122, I think.
Seems to be a driver that always has speed, but maybe
166,
just wasn't getting the
122.
finishes that he was hoping for. But I tell you what, Sam, he has right now
Probably
he
pull
did
in
not
121,
went in and got tires.
come out
Actually
122.
by him before
I don't know,
the front leaders pitted.
somewhere
So
around there.
keep that in mind. The 3's getting around a 9, which means once these guys up front
Yeah.
decide to pit, the 3 would come.
Yeah, it's right around there.
Adding to his laps led count and potentially catch the 9 and maybe then get that bonus point if he did stay in front of the 9.
Yeah, that most lead lap's going to be a major, crucial bonus point to grab. And also, if you can get the win, that's 1 bonus point to the points counter. And if you add up the bonus points that have already been,
You definitely hear him clutching it.
the drivers that have led a lap and where their points were at the
Oh,
start
yeah,
of the
he is
campaign.
deep
You've got
on that clutch.
Terrian, they both were going to be tied in points. Ryan Kelly just going to be 1 point back from those.
Running the low line,
Zach Hall is going to be a total of 5 points back. Same for Benjamin.
clutch and roll.
Back. So there are more margins.
Turn left, clutch and roll.
Here tonight, but for Benjamin Nelson, who's going with the off strategy, he's not 100% safe where he's at.
But he's got to make up so many points, which
Shane Terrian, Ryan Kelly, Ken Campbell. If they can gain and get closer to where that 79 is, I mean, they could just.
Yeah, looking at the amount of time that he's losing
And they'll be the
and how much time
seeing a little bit more race
Syrian is gaining on those new tires.
as Shane Terrian.
Oh man, it's going to be wicked close.
Tires to Brian P. Johnson's allowing.
but Nelson needs,
to make these passes cleanly.
I think it's possible.
14 laps into this
I think
race,
it's possible
these
Nelson
guys are
gets
still
it.
staying side by side up front. I know it's not the battle for the lead, but eventually this will become the lead. So right now it's important for these guys to figure out who's going to be able to get in front and get that clean air. You see the 3 choose to go down with the 28, try and give some draft assistance to get around the 9. The 3
I agree, Derek. And Nelson being in the spot that he was in,
potentially get that
you know, he was bottom. He was 6 coming into the championship race, 10 points down. So
I tell you what, Sam, this race has been so exciting.
trying to find that sheet I shared with you. I don't think I can pull it up on my computer.
We're down to now 5 with McCann having some incident issues
One you sent me?
in the race, but wow,
Yeah.
you can't ask for anything better than these 5 guys
I
battling.
don't think I'm logged in on this
Win
one.
it yet. Still could come down to some kind of different strategy. Zach Hall, maybe like you said, the biggest underdog, but who knows? You get a late race caution, everything could change.
And speaking of late race cautions, driver that was involved in late race caution last week at Charlotte, James Kaufman, might be wondering why he was not able to be out on track. Well, 25 had
Shane is catching Nelson
forced, the admins
by about
to
2,
have to park the 25.
no, 1 lap a second.
Of influencing this
So
race.
31.8, 30.
And just
No, only about 4/10.
counting last season to this season.
That's interesting.
You hate to see the 25 in that position, but with some of the
And if it goes green,
kinda
hold on, let me type the numbers in here.
Great racing action we see on screen, and with the 25
That's what I'm doing right now too.
Will we even?
I'm trying to think, where would they finish at if it kept running out here?
Been the last
So,
couple of weeks. It's been the
Therian still has to pit
Would change, like you said, the outcome of
2 more times.
one less caution. Who
Nelson
knows?
only has to
Right now,
pit
this race seems
once.
to have that green flag feel to it, but you never know. Cautions, they breed cautions, and at the end it could get kind of chaotic. And with the extra tires that they still have, maybe some guys are going to go in and just keep bolting on those
So,
first tires as we see.
I think the worst Shane can do is 8th,
They're going to be driving hard into turn 3, trying to decide who's able to get this position.
7th
24
or
is
8th.
gonna
Let's just
drop
go with
the
8th because that's
inside.
where he's at now.
Not able to slide up in front of the 38 yet. Is he going to be able to do a competitive corner? He's going to try. Yes, he's.
What's your bonus
38,
points,
gain one more
Pete?
position for the 24 as he tries to make his
Who got him?
to the front of this field.
there pushes forward in our first drive.
Right. Well, before you got wrecked, Ken and Shane were both 4 behind. Ryan was down 5, Zach was down 9, and Ben was down 9.
Here on
No, I mean like the bonus points, the laps led thing.
is going to be close, but you should be able to make it.
Oh, gotcha. Hold on one sec.
Lap 120. It's when the window is almost absolute. You're good from there.
Okay, if they finish right here,
Benjamin Nelson would probably
Nelson gets third
road
and Shane gets 8, Nelson
Get in
wins.
there and get the tires and try and gain any track position to stay ahead of those guys. If he's
The
able to
points
do
is a
that.
tie, but Nelson has the most wins, and that's the tiebreaker.
The other guys who got up there and leaped laps.
So if Nelson gets third and
Yeah,
Shane
it
gets
is.
8.
Is going to
Um,
close to see how this all cycles through. I mean, he's stayed out there right now. Some of these guys pitted about 20 laps ago, so they really have been.
Excuse me.
Really fast speed.
Correction.
Almost
If
probably a second a lap.
no, that's right.
Tires.
It'll still be a tie.
He's going to go in shortly. I would expect get those
Yeah,
tires and try and gain back some of that time before these guys make their final pit stop.
Because they both led a lap, I think. Did Nelson lead a lap?
Not pitted in the last 20 laps. They last time
No,
top 6
not that I saw, unless it was under green flag pits.
laps ago. It is from 7.
He stayed out for a long time, so I wonder.
They're pushing their tires.
Let's go back to right before he pitted.
Pit road just as quickly, and I think a lot of those drivers.
What position was he
Dixon
in?
ball's going down.
Back. Their window is around lap 133. That's the lap.
Yeah, he was in position number 1.
While everyone else.
So he led a lap.
Top 6. Well, one of them hits pit road now. That's Bryson Hicksonbaugh into pit road for the 63. Those drivers, they're
All right, there it is. He led a lap, so he got a bonus point.
here at 122 to
Yep,
126 is most likely their window that they're looking
And
for.
if he comes from 6
Hitting pit road for those guys. Douglas
to
would be
first
likely to be one of the next drivers, or
for
Nelson.
the championship,
Get in there. Don't want to risk giving up too much time, because how are you going to make it on the back end? Again, for Benjamin Nelson, he's got to finish ahead of all those guys on this strategy. He's got to
And
make sure for his strategy.
the person who just pit Hicksonbaugh, he's not going to be able to make it on fuel, I don't think. So that moves Ben up to second.
A chance to win it.
So it's not even a tiebreaker at that point.
That's what he's going to have to do, be able to get out there and win this championship.
It's
Trying to win
43 laps from here to go the distance.
for a quick moment, trying to break off, and will be able to do so.
He needs a pit.
79 and the 7 are both coming down pit road.
Douglas Newbigin.
Oh, they're gonna wreck.
Dramatically.
Oh,
Benjamin Nelson will most likely try to go and lead. No, actually,
That's close.
pass for the lead going into pit road. Benjamin Nelson gets aggressive in contact between the 7 and 79 as they are now entering into their box, trying to be careful with one another. And it's going to be Nelson who's going to be having the first, who's going to have the leader pit stop. So these drivers should not run into one another, as Brian Noel now will be gifted the lead.
Wow, that could have been huge for Nelson there, making that contact, like you said, getting onto the pits. Don't want to risk it.
so Shane
So
should be
Noel's gonna
coming
lead
up
a
on
lap, but
a.
that's
Everything for him.
that doesn't mean anything.
Well, right now, our leader, expect to see him in the pits shortly, is going to turn the lead over to Brian P. Johnson, who now has built up a little bit of lead over Shane.
Where's
Theory
Ken
and
at?
Kelly.
Ken
Brian P. Johnson in the late night as his track cools down, really finding
is
that
in 4th. I don't think he ever led a lap. Did you ever
Ben's
see
in
Ken?
4th.
close to the night.
Did you see
Now
Ken
he
lead a
can
lap?
around those guys and really start to pull away.
No.
Maybe get
No, I
the season
didn't.
on a high note, and then the frustration of saying, "Wow, what if I could have made it into the final 6?" Who knows?
A ton of what ifs are going to be.
What happened? I didn't see Nelson.
Well, going to hit pit road. Going to be the last of the drivers that were trying to split this green flag run into a one stop. The other drivers that are out on track, we are.
Oh, he spun tire.
First, all the way down to 11.
That's what spinning tire in the pit will do to
All
you.
have to make at least one more stop before the night is over.
And that car in front of him is new big.
It's a while.
Circling up of lap 133, or do they decide to pit slightly sooner? And I would imagine they're going to stay out as long as they can.
Ken Campbell, he was last on pit road, lap 94.
Try to run down the.
So Hicksonbaugh is the leader
Oh,
of the
he
fuel
needed to go.
savers.
They're probably going to, like you said, want to get in and get those fresh tires as soon as they can, so that the people right now on fresh tires don't gain too much ground on them. It's going to be close.
This is the leader of the fuel
A
savers.
while.
He's 28.5 seconds back, so he did not lose a lap there. So right now, anytime he can gain on these guys, it's going to be.
Were you on Hicksonbaugh?
They're going to have to gain on the back end.
Yeah, Hicksonbaugh's the.
Fun, Sam.
It's Hicksonbaugh, Newbigging, Nelson.
Between different strategies at the end, and it's all going to come down to probably the final lap and who's able to get by.
But they may
Get that extra point.
catch Hicksonbaugh. Well, no, they only got 2 laps
Really
difference.
close. I really think that maybe Benjamin Nelson might have some kind of strategy figured out.
Hicksonbaugh's clutching too.
Where will these drivers loom or lie as we are going to be taking our commercial break? It's going to be our last one of the night.
I wonder if
And we will
Nelson
come back
Nelson may
with
have made it to
more
where he doesn't have to
racing
clutch.
Coverage here this evening as the WSSR Roast to Gems Cup Series Season 8. It has been incredible.
Kelly's on pit road.
Drivers raced all season long, from the low moments at the beginning of the season to now.
Yeah, he's not having to clutch anymore.
Next 30 odd laps. We're going to be.
They're gonna kick. They're gonna catch Hixenbaugh.
Here at Kansas, as we'll be back right after this to take you to the finish.
The orange car right there. Then here's Nelson. So Nelson and Newbiggie is going to catch Hixenbaugh, and that Nelson's going to win this championship. That's crazy.
That is a lot of dedicated saving.
Where's Shane? Shane's in the pit. Let's see how bad his entry was this time. I bet he cleaned it up a little bit. Yeah, he cleaned it up. Downshift. That's risky.
So if he's on pit, is that live or is he out already?
Live right now.
Okay. So lap 131 of 166, he's just got to go 35 laps.
Yeah, but Shane is a lap down right now. Nelson is on the lead lap with only 2 drivers in front of him that can make the finish of the race. The gap between Nelson and Shane is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars. Like I said, Nelson has won this championship if it stays green. Back to back. He was last season's championship too.
Hi, Nick.
It's going to be damn interesting to watch Therian work his way through the field like that then.
Where you're going to be, North.
Yeah, he's not going to make up a lap.
Ah, hell no. It's like 60. You lose.
Hixenbaugh still clutching.
38 pin this time.
You lose too much pitting, so these guys here are fuel saved are on the right strategy. I don't think he's clutching.
Improvement.
No, he ain't clutching. He's sending.
He might have met his number. I don't hear him. Yeah. Yeah.
He saved it on his first 2 stints.
Brian Johnson was last in on lap 98. Forbes was last in on 104. Fonseca was last in on lap 105. Hixenbaugh was on 121. Newbiggie was 123. Let's see, Cody Reed was 112. The rest are all 120s, 130s.
Oh my right here, this ain't gonna work. They make it last, bumping and banging to the end. They're beating banging for the lead. Sora's still with a shot here, coming off a 4. That's it.
It's bottom line. Here it comes.
I think this is the only race that we got wrecked out of. So
74 gets
pretty sure we went 17 races without getting wrecked out of.
completely demolish one another. Driving down low, drifting up.
I was just
And
trying
it's
to
the
think
one that meant the most.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that it happened on this one, but
But he.
overall, it was a good season.
Oh, they wrecked! They wrecked each other. The top.
I agree.
Bounced into one another. Just too much of side drifting off of, and they.
I'm ready for the next one when you are.
Oh no! The 4 demolishes into 28.
Oh, yeah.
Solo.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Freaky Fast Broadcasting. My name is Sam Dyer. With me,
Nelson is the only.
Justin Malarkey, and his
No, that ain't right.
directions is
Who was the
Robert
other
Jr. You're watching the WSSR Roasted Gems Cup Series Season 8 finale. It's the Freaky Fast finale.
He was the only championship contender that did the fuel save.
Here at Kansas. Want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor at Trophy Smack.
And he's less than a second behind Hicksonball.
Championship trophy, ring, or
He doesn't even need it.
some of these drivers
just-
have already gone.
He wins right now.
More was, and for Trophy Smack, they're more.
Yeah.
It's called a wall smack. Metal plate. They
Yeah,
use
Nick
on the
Crawford.
wall with their wall safe mounting system that allows you to magnify.
Hunter, Noel, Wade, Reed, Kelly.
Go get yourself
Darian's in 11th right now.
or on your shelf.
And
a metal plate.
he's just
own design. The image
all kinds of seconds behind Nelson.
sent to you, and as well
18 plus. Dang.
percent.
There has to be a
just using the promo
4
WSSR
position difference between Nelson and Therian.
to get 10% off on your.
Well, let's look at.
purchase
No, Ken
Trophy
is
Smack.
behind.
Drivers
Hold on, let's
here
factor
tonight,
Ken in here.
all running. We got 5 now. Originally had 6 drivers running for a championship. We're down to just 5 here this evening that have a chance to hoist the Season 8 championship. And throughout the whole entire commercial break, I know Justin and I were trying to do the math. I had friends texting me trying to figure out the math as well.
Let's not forget about Ron Kelly, too.
To hoist the championship, but all circled around is Benjamin Nelson.
He's
It should move
P9 right now.
third.
16 seconds behind the lead.
First place still needs to make one more stop before the night is done. Other drivers that need to make a stop. 11th place runner is Cody Reed, and just on the buffer is 8th place is Christopher Wade if he is not saved.
Where's
enough
Ken
fuel.
at?
Those
Ken
are
is
the
12.
last
Ken dropped
drivers
back. Something happened to Ken.
The other drivers that we have circled up of how far ahead can they get is Ryan Kelly in 9th, 10th to Shane Perrion, and Ken Campbell.
Take a look at his right front.
Those drivers are
Right now,
tag
the
the
finishing order,
out of
Nelson wins.
close as they can to Benjamin Nelson. And
By 1 point.
We look at the points with Brian
The
McCann.
way they are right now, Nelson wins.
In the
He doesn't have any kind of a mark on his right front, so I'm not quite sure.
Race. He had a 4-point buffer to Ken Campbell and a 10-point buffer over Benjamin
Are
Nelson.
there any other drivers that has to drop out?
Distance away.
That Christopher Wade
A lot
might have to drop
closer.
out.
Every position matters that much more. And Justin, we're trying to figure out the math. It is going to be very close on the bonus points that are going to be given out for leading the most laps. If that's going to be going to Ryan Kelly or Shane Terry, we believe
Cameron Sarton doesn't look like he ever started.
1 bonus point given to Terrian. And then if you win a race, you get a bonus point. And Dallas Newbegin is looking quickly. He
And
might
he-
win. Could be Bryson Hickson.
Oh, wait, hold on. Make sure I'm
Fourth, should be moving.
looking at the right stuff here. No, I'm not. I was wrong.
Included. If Benjamin Nelson gets the win, gets that bonus point, that could really.
Yeah, nothing on Cameron Sarton. Daniel Cochran is on track.
It's really going to make this last
John
30
Forbes
minutes
is not going to make the end of the
Make it
race,
so
so let me
interesting
update
trying to
these.
figure this out. I mean, the 79, he's been slowly gaining on Hicksabon, Newbigin. If he's able to get around
Shane and Kelly,
he's
looks like they're
winning
racing
for
back
winning
here.
a race. And then if
no, they got some space between them.
because right now I think he was cycled through to 5th because he is behind Ryan Kelly and Brian P. Johnson. Is,
Ken got back to
actually
11th.
behind those guys, but he did pit latest, so maybe
Nelson still wins.
with the tires. It's just too hard to figure out, Sam. I mean, we're gonna sit here spinning our wheels trying to figure out who's gonna be where and running in what position, but it's going to be really interesting. I think the whole thing is Nelson's going to have to get up there to win the race to even have a chance. If he doesn't win the race, I don't think he's going to have a chance because he's going to really need that extra point plus get those points from passing the 2 guys in front of him. And every point matters, as we've been talking about all night. It's going to make it so exciting to call it over these final 21.
And if you're just joining us now, we have only had one call.
All right, so leader's going in.
At
Giving it back to Hicksonball, and he's still got Newbigging.
Kansas.
Nelson's just a half second behind.
All the past Kansas races have had either
And you see Crawford, Noel, Hunter, Wade, Ryan Kelly's in 9th.
one here tonight. We
2 to 3 seconds back.
you'd see a wreck that potentially could change this race as John Forbes makes his final pit stop. That's going to be advancing practically everyone up 1 position, and that should be one of the last pit stops of the night. The
And he's bringing Therian right with him.
questionable marker of can they make it is going to be Cody Reed, who's kind of just outside of the window of influencing our championship run, and Christopher Wade in 8th, which if Wade can't make it, that could be changing up a couple of more points, could be helping out the likes of Ryan Kelly and Shane Terrian, which where they run, they're technically tied, but Terrian could get the bonus point of leading the most laps. But the point situation is so close, we might have to wait until this race is completely over. Again, we're assuming Shane Terrian's led the most laps because of how much he was leading for the first 100 laps of this race, but a lot has been moving around, and Christopher Wade cannot make it. This is the moment that Shane Terrian was hoping for, because the gap between the 9 and the 79 has gotten close enough to where I believe Shane Terrian, if he's given the bonus point of leading a lap,
Broadcast is right.
Point advantage.
It's just points.
Broadcast is right.
It's still gonna be
If he gets that bonus point,
just gotta get around
he
the
wins.
race,
Shane.
trying to get an extra point. That's what he needs. But
Yeah.
look at Brian P. Johnson coming in, driver that pitted a little bit later,
And nobody else is going to pit.
He's gonna
So
be trying to get around
this
the
right here is
which
the
then gonna set them back.
finishing order if they run
Every
green.
point matters. Every position
Or make a
worth the
pass.
point. This is crazy, Sam. When we went to commercial, it was about 1 to 1.1 seconds that Nelson was
Nelson is working on some cars in front of him.
Man,
making a huge amount of gain there with 19 laps to go. But
He's
it's
not.
21 seconds for this pack right here. They were 21 seconds behind around commercial. You can see it right there on screen. They got it down to 15 seconds. So at this rate, would they continue to gain another second a lap and get around Nelson, and then they won't have to worry? It's going to be
Bryson is still
We're gonna
clutching.
Find out. Can't wait.
He may not make it on fuel. If he doesn't make it on fuel, then Nelson
Nelson's
wins.
nose is what influenced.
So it really comes down to Hickson-Ball right now.
Here late
oh, 3 tag the wall.
race, 18 laps to go.
9's getting by.
Pass of Johnson
Uh-oh.
by Kelly and Terrian. It is now given the advantage back to Nelson. Terrian needing this spot, needs to move up to 8th place. Will do so to the inside. Not able to clear though. And Terrian understands, has to be given all this information of this position, this spot could make or break your championship. And it's with another championship contender.
He's not able to get to that pass going down his front straight, but he's going to stay to the inside and try and get through this corner. Not able to get down to the bottom. The lap before, it looked like I saw some sparks on the threes. He got into the wall, coming out of the corner just ever so slightly, but that has not upset his car as it still carries the speed.
Ooh, he's turning down that hill hard.
Now going to go to the outside, try and get that momentum built up. Going to now in the middle of the corner, pull it down to the bottom, see if he's able to get a little bit of that clean air. Get the car, still slides to the wall, not able to carry that momentum down the front straightaway, not able to get by the 3 yet to get that extra point.
But out of the same notion as we're talking
Wait.
about,
Feel that right
No.
front doing that.
is
The broadcast is wrong. Nelson wins. I had my numbers wrong.
The lead
Nelson wins in this finishing order.
on one another, a 7/10 window between
Even if Shane gets a bonus point, because right now this finishing order is Shane gets 66, Ryan gets 66, and Nelson gets 77.
that we're feeling for 8th place currently.
Shane gets that bonus point, it'll be
Well,
77
that's why they
versus
were also
77.
just saying they'd have to wait and see what the
Get a lot
final
of
running order is in order to see who wins it.
wrapped up on these straightaways and
If Nelson and Shane tie, though, Nelson
tires getting
wins the tiebreaker.
2 laps, so it can make a move and get around you guys. But look at that, you can see it on screen. It says 7/10 is getting closer. It was 1.1 around.
Does it go back to the most recent win or the amount of wins in a season?
Trying to
The whole season, overall.
doing what he can to try and get to the 63. He's got to
Okay.
get up there.
And Nelson has like 5 or 6 or something.
Best way for him to win this race and championship would be to win the race.
Winning the race will help you, but winning the race does not automatically give you the championship. It is based off of points. Whoever has the most points after tonight is going to be the victor. And we do have to think about last week. I know it kind of happened in a controversial way of a late race caution, but we had a late race caution with just 7 laps to go at Charlotte last week that changed a lot of these drivers' finishing positions they were expecting to have, and it allowed a little bit more flair to.
It's amazing that Bryson is saving and still outrunning him.
Tonight, the drivers know with how the last 2-3 races have been, late race yellow is always in the back of their mind. But for Benjamin Nelson, he's hoping that the race can stay clean and green and wants to get by the 7 if possible. And for for the likes of Ryan Kelly and Shane Terrian, this battle matters so much for Terrian more than Kelly.
So much for the point, just needing it. He has the extra lap. We're thinking the extra point from leading the most laps. We're assuming based off of how it was up there, but
He's running the bottom side, so yeah, the bottom side saves fuel naturally. You can get an extra lap running the bottom.
Being 1 point ahead of Ryan Kelly. So right now,
He's going for a pass here, though.
Positions matter. It's so important.
Shortest distance around.
Can't stress it enough. But like you said, we might not know until a couple minutes after the race, just so it all cycles.
He ain't gonna be able to do it on the bottom side, though.
Really close, regardless. Right now, the way they're running, it's going to be so close.
So close between one another. And if there was a tie, it would go down to who had the best finish in this championship round. And where they run currently, the tie would go to Benjamin Nelson. If Nelson tied with either Ryan Kelly,
is he gonna get a nose?
Shane,
He got a nose.
at this,
We're gonna see a pass here.
the other two
Looks like it.
of Ken Campbell,
Nelson threw that on the top side. He ain't gonna be able to do it, though. He ain't
in
gonna.
11th place.
He's gonna have to go low here.
For second is on. Douglas
Seven threw it in. So they're racing hard right here.
The 79 ripping the top, trying to find the momentum to get by
Yep.
7. Has the speed, has the momentum, and is trying for the dive bomb move with 10 laps to go. 9 when they cross the line.
Nelson
With
technically doesn't have to do this, but
almost crushed the hopes and dreams of Kelly and Tarian, but Benjamin Nelson can't make the pass clean just yet.
Douglas Newbiggie fighting back on the outside, saying, I still want to finish second. I want to have a chance to get up there and get to the 63s. They both are trying to gain on the 63 while they race side by side. They have it down to a half a second, Sam. They're making ground on the 63s. You see him get a little wiggle coming out of the corner there. That's going to hurt a little bit of momentum, but these two side by sides not helping their cause.
It's not, and they continue to fight side by side. Another dive bomb move by the 79, hoping this slide job was going to work, but was not fully clear. Going to have to hold back. They slide down, and these drivers have been driving on 35 lap old tires.
yeah, they racing.
And
Newbiggie and Nelson are both faster than the leader, even if they're racing like this. Wow.
This is the closest battle on track, but a late caution could change everything here. Everyone's got at least a set left in pit road. But then for Nelson, he hopes
Kelly took off from Shane.
For Terry,
Shane ain't got
might
a
need a caution to get back in the
chance.
fight, as the difference for 8th and 9th is a half a second. Tarian continues to lose ground, and Nelson, he continues to get closer and closer for a chance to be the third driver to go back-to-back for a championship.
Trying to get that extra point to get around Douglas Newbiggie, but he can't just do it quite yet. I almost wonder with 7 laps to go, does he maybe back off, try and cool the tires?
I'm still in the race. I could take off and do some donuts in the infield. You know what I'm saying?
They're gaining on the 63.
Oh, he did it.
For a minute and let the 7 get up.
He might get it here.
63, and then
He's gonna.
cools tire for a lap
He got it.
get around
I think he got it.
and then get that win. You get that extra point, and maybe
That's huge.
And it's 7.
He slaps the wall, loses the momentum.
The other car got it too. Nelson's gonna get a win.
Nose ahead and will complete the pass
Yep.
for second. Nelson did what he
Oh.
did. He got the mistake that was.
He's a winner by a long shot now.
Place, give him maybe the lead. No, it's gonna be Hickson on the wall. Benjamin Nelson trying to go for his 6th win of the season, and what a crucial one it would be.
Wow.
What a change of events.
Corner that whole lap, he's going to go to the lead. This could be it. This might be what he needs. As those two are
The lowest
really
point
close.
driver
He saw
coming
the
into the
start slide on
championship
the
comes out here and
he
wins
saw
it.
63 got up into the wall. He's going to try and get the momentum.
After I got
He's gonna
wrecked out,
drive
of
it down
course.
Here into the inside, going into turn 1.
Hickson Bog down to the white.
Yeah.
The apron just slightly.
That's still freaking bogus.
With
Because
5 laps.
this
to
wouldn't have been a
go.
problem,
Slide
'cause
by
I
7.
would have just had to finish like.
And moving away.
Let's see what
the
position.
2/10 is Nelson over second place. 5 laps to go, and it's all now Benjamin Nelson. He thought maybe he was in trouble, but 2 passes.
I could have got a.
Just hope that this race stays green for 4 more laps.
4 to go.
I could have finished 8th here and still won. And if Nelson wins right here, I could have finished 8th and still won.
That dirty air on the 63, making sure the 63 does not have a chance to get back around and doesn't want to risk up any points. He's gonna have to drive it.
So that's how bad it sucks.
I don't see that happening.
Sam.
No change for 8th place. It's just Nelson.
This was
hoping to
easily
stay
my
up front.
championship until I got
For a
wrecked.
championship win, it would be so glorious, as the 79 at moments during the playoffs was falling apart. He just was making mental mistakes that we've
Let's see if they're
never seen
teammates.
Nelson make
They
in
might
the
be.
I hope he at least says something to you after the race, sends you a message.
week. He had to work his way through the last 2 weeks of going through the field as he started in the back. Tonight, qualified better in 4th. Didn't have to worry about traffic. And now coming up to
They
2
are
laps
not
to go.
teammates,
Nelson crosses
according
his
to
fingers
this.
in hopes that one more lap stays green so he can get the white. two.
Zach Hall and Shane are teammates with the guy who wrecked me.
Drive down to the bottom.
So the guy who wrecked me helped Shane.
Get that white flag and know that he'd be in the capper seat. Just doesn't want to make any mistakes. He's going to have the lap car right here going to the inside. Hopefully not going to affect the momentum anymore. Turn 2 there, able to, now they're actually still side by side. Sam, not what he wants to see. I'm sure he's getting a little excited right now as we're going to be coming to 1 to go.
Benjamin Nelson.
White flag. He is the winner.
And was the odds-on favorite to go back-to-back in the championship. But
Yep.
had the biggest mountain to climb with coming across the line. It's your Roasted Gems white flag as Benjamin Nelson doesn't have to worry about a caution. Just putter away.
And all I had to do was get 8.
Inside of the top 2 when the championship is yours. Benjamin Nelson, he was down 10 points, the biggest difference of all drivers entering tonight. He didn't have to worry after the contact that took out Brian McCann. Turned into a little bit more of a manageable fight. But off the 4, Benjamin Nelson, the 3rd driver in history in the WSSR, goes back-to-back championship winner for Season 8. Goes the 79 of Benjamin Nelson.
Wow, 6th win of the season. What a great dominating season. Brings it home with the championship. Congratulations to Benjamin Nelson. I'm sure he's going to be burning it down on the front straightaway, celebrating. What a win. Wow, what a comeback. 10 points down, able to come back, get to the win, get the point for winning the race, and now.
All right, well, repeat. I guess it was a good season, and thank you for everything you did. And it sucks that we didn't get that, even though it would have been an easy championship for us if we didn't get wrecked.
Had a chance to fight for his championship
Yeah.
here tonight. I'd also give huge kudos.
Nah, man, absolutely not a problem, man.
Zach.
None whatsoever. I will catch you next season or whenever you need. Like I said, just send me a message whenever you want. I'm always around.
All right, man, take it easy.
Who went with the oddball strategy. We thought maybe it was going to be the extra pit
Thank you,
stop.
Derek, for sticking around all those races and talking to us and helping out.
Instead, it was the
Everybody else for watching.
the minimal amount.
I'll see you
that found
next time.
themselves finishing up front. And for Nelson, he's getting a little bit of tap because Nelson, Hicksonbaugh, they were close on fuel with how aggressive they were driving. And
He's out of fuel.
Benjamin Nelson getting a push by his teammate of Christopher Norris to put the 79 near the start finish line before he could start burning it down. But